Hey everybody, this is the PWZ podcast. I am your host, Professor Rick Del Santo. Joining me today is from Shocking Things podcast, the host, Jonathan Peck. How's it going, friend?
How you doing, Ricky?
I am great. Well, we've had some sad news today, actually. Former NWA and WWC USWA superstar Chris Youngblood has passed due to heart attack. Chris was the younger brother of former tag team partner Ricky Steamboat, Jay Youngblood. I used to watch him in the NWA back in, I think it was 1990, 91-ish. So, and the USWA when they were in Dallas. So he will be sorely missed. Friends with him on Facebook who would communicate sometimes, and he was a very, very nice person. He liked good music too. So, today, John, what's been going on with you?
Nothing really too exciting I could think of. I mean, wrestling wise, there hasn't really been too many good things. I don't know about you for modern things here and there, but
well, one of the things that's
what we're going to be talking about has actually been pretty consistent, at least.
I don't know what you're referring to, but we've been one thing that's been pretty consistent that I've been really into is the NWA as of late. Yeah, we're going to be talking about that. But I hear you're getting set to relaunch Shocking Things.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, Rick.
I heard you're getting ready to relaunch your podcast. Is that true?
Yeah. Starting off, we took a hiatus. The next episode, hopefully next week, we're going to do. We recently went to the filming location of the first Friday the 13th movie in Blairstown, New Jersey. So we're going to talk about that experience.
Okay. That's cool. I'll be looking forward to that. It's Shocking Things, and look that up on all your socials, and you'll find some really cool stuff there. So we're getting set to be talking about NWA Power. This week's episode was pretty good. There's been some weeks where it's been kind of
decent. Yeah.
There's been some weeks that's been pretty questionable. One thing that the NWA as of right now has to be my favorite thing that's in existence wrestling wise. It's pretty good. It's not crazy. It's the production is not over the top. They use Dokken as the theme, the entrance music. And I get to see some talent that I really, really enjoy, like Slice Boogie, or like him a lot.
I know you like the storyline with Slice Boogie now. We'll talk about that later.
Of course, we'll get to that though. The other thing about this is that I love the NWA. I really do. And since Billy Corgan purchased it and started doing a lot of things with it and promoting under it, the TV show, it's one thing that I got to way too many three-way matches. That's the other thing. I think one episode there was like 2 three-way matches on one episode, and that kind of like irks me. It's just like it's supposed to be a special feature. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, more than once, and even once an episode is a bit much. Like I said, it's supposed to be a special feature. So, but other than that, not really much to complain about, exception of Tyrus. But he's going on me.
He's a good heel, but we'll talk later about him. But in that sense,
his debut was not the greatest, but he's definitely improved, and I think his mouthpieces. But we'll get to that. We opened up with the announced team: Joe Galley, Tim Storm, and what's the girl's name? I'm sorry, Velvet Sky. What do you think of her on commentary?
She's okay. I mean, she's still new at it, but I think in time she'll get better. It's tough with the three-person booth, so people don't talk all over each other. But she's okay here and there, throwing in her comments.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the 3-person booth, and that's something that's been pretty common.
Yeah, it's very normal.
Yeah, at least the last 25 years or so. So we started this match off with the television title match. Sal Rinauro has been working his way up to get a TV title shot with the Pope, Elijah Burke. This is one thing that's that's there's these little micro things that irk me when it comes to the National Wrestling Alliance. Their television title matches, 6 minutes and 5 second time limit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You gotta, like,
It
the
just doesn't make much.
605, right?
Yeah, they're really killing the 605 here, and that's I don't know, man. I'm just not behind the whole the time limit on that. I can understand the 10-minute time limit because that was kind of traditional back in the NWA WCW days for the television title, but the 6 minutes is a bit much. But I do think that I think this only went like 4 and change, but I think that Burke and Renaro really did
It was good.
put the best that they could. Yeah, I thought so. I like Sal Renaro. He's I've watched him quite a bit. Remember him from Ring of Honor and NWA Wildside. So he's very talented, but his character here is he's pretty funny.
We'll give him that.
I like the side braid. That side braid is pretty weird. But, yeah, no, but this is good. What do you guys say about this one?
I mean, I thought it was good. Like that, they made it like Sal could actually possibly win. With the near falls, and it was believable in that sense.
I think the one thing that was a bit weird was the absence of Colby Corino, considering that he just attacked him last week and ruined his shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't think that there was not having any kind of follow up on this. Wouldn't make much sense, but I guess it leads the viewer to want more. So of course we went to now he's 6-0 as far as the TV title goes. The Pope. Now, if you get to 7, he gets a world title shot against Nick Aldis. Do you think that they're going to gear up towards that? Do you think they'll give him? He's only got one match left. So,
I mean, it's possible. I mean, I think they need someone really for Nick Aldis. Because they lost so much of their roster, last year. It's trying to rebuild now, so it's kind of tough in that sense. He's Elijah Burke Pope. He's never really huge, but he's known at least.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if they build him up, it's possible.
I think so. After probably, what do you think? Like, do you think that they're gonna? I mean, I think it's pretty well set that NWA 73 is going to be it's Murdoch and Aldis, right? Or it's going to be because it's Trevor Murdoch's hometown. And there's a chance that there's rumors that they're going to actually have him win the title because of it's in his hometown in St. Louis. So, I mean, I'd like to see the Pope get a shot. Maybe they're gonna. I don't know when they're gonna do that. If they're gonna do it on TV or if they're gonna do it like further down the road after the next title match. Tyrus, Austin Idol, and Jordan Clearwater. Excuse me. Black G's. He's my new favorite. Black G's. They come out and they're making threats and stuff to the Pope. And I like when because Tyrus is so large and Kyle Davis is so small. They're just
when he puts his hand on his head, like that's what I'm saying before when he's a good heel, because you're just like you want to punch him when you see that, like he's bullying him, right? Like
My thing is this. It's like the first time was probably just like they were just kind of joking around.
Yeah.
The first time he did it, but it was like so funny. I thought it was hilarious that it's just like now he just makes sure to do that in everything. It's like how he puts his hand on him, then puts his head like he's making him hug him, kind of a thing. It's just funny. So what's this?
His facial expression,
his eyes,
dying, like he's crushing his head.
Right. So yeah, then from there they what do they say? They go to the commercial and then they
But don't forget that the Austin Idol wears the greatest outfits in wrestling now, with the cutoff shirt over the long sleeve shirt. Well, like all different colors. This time he had a blue shirt and the ridiculous blue glitter hat. I mean, that was.
He comes out wearing his trademark Austin Idol hat that he wore back in the 70s and 80s. He wears the Austin Idol Wrestling School shirt over like a, and
Yeah,
then it looks
black.
like,
Yeah,
yeah,
over a blue, like a bright blue, like dress shirt. It looks so ridiculous.
and he's wearing like old man jeans on
Yeah,
top of it. So it's like he looks crazy. Yeah. No, he's funny though, and guess they had to give somebody like him to Tyrus, or because while he does a decent job doing what he's doing, even when he speaks, like it's pretty convincing and pretty good. But if it was like if he really had to like cut his own promos and stuff like that, it's better that he has a mouthpiece. But the minimum that he does say works out for him. I think that's pretty funny. So then they also mentioned that the Champion Series, which I'm still not 100% certain about, this is going to start on the 27th. Austin Idol and Company. Hold on. I say this again. Oh, wait. Idol vows that Pope will not make it to the Champion Series and will not make it to lucky number 7. Tyrus is going to be that champion. Pope's 7th title defense will be against Tyrus. Apparently, that's what we heard. So, this is probably going to be in the next couple of weeks. I'm wondering if there's going to be a new champion crowned or if something's going to happen.
or a swerve, as they say.
As they say. So, I'm wondering about that myself. I'm wondering if what was it? I'm wondering if he's going to actually win, or maybe some sort of disqualification or something to that effect. Maybe we'll even go to the time limit. But can Tyrus work 6 minutes? Let's be serious here.
We'll see.
Thunder Rosa and Sky Blue took on Serena Deeb and Kylie Ray. Serena Deeb and Kylie Ray won this match. I thought this was a pretty fun match. The thing is, you liked it?
I like the tags in and out. How it's, a lot of action in that sense.
I think I never really knew much about Serena Deeb. Apparently, she worked WWE when I was not watching WWE at all. So I don't know.
She's good. Yeah, but did you ever see her when she shaved her head with the Straight Edge Society? Any of that stuff, or no?
Oh, she was with them? Yeah,
Yes.
no, that's kind of like when I really wasn't watching much, but I do, I think my son was watching at the time period, so I kind of like tuned in when he did every now and again. But okay, so now that makes more sense.
Rip Rogers. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh, okay. That's. Oh, yeah. No, I did know that. I heard that not so long ago. That's a guy I'd like to get on the show because that guy can talk. I've heard him in interviews. He's really cool. Yeah. So I really did like this match. Kylie Ray is, I think she's a pretty good addition to the NWA. The NWA is doing a really good job at pushing the women's division. Obviously, with the NWA women's pay-per-view Empower coming up.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm wondering who else they're going to be bringing in. I'm assuming that there's going to be more well-known names, and I'm going to guess that some from Thunder Rosa's Mission Pro are going to come in as well. So that looks good. That looks like it's pretty good. But they
I assume they get a woman or two from AEW too, some type of working relationship. I'd assume they would do something like that.
Well, I mean, Deeb and the other one, Thunder Rosa. Sorry,
yeah, they go back and forth. Yeah, so I mean,
yeah, they go back and forth. But I think it's Thunder Rosa's contract ends at the end of this year with the National Wrestling Alliance. So I'm wondering if she's going to be full time with AEW after that. I think she's a really good addition to both brands. I think she's awesome. She's actually like one of my favorite wrestlers today. So I'd like to see her stick with the NWA, but I guess what it boils down to is who's paying you more. So,
yeah, that's what it always seems like.
Yeah. So Serena Deeb and Kylie Ray won. I believe it was Kylie Ray
Is it a submission?
Sky Blue by submission. Yes, I think she had her in a crossface, if that's what it was. I like it how Kylie Ray acts completely surprised when she wins or anything like that. It's pretty comical. So we had the I don't know why they labeled this as the finals of the vacant NWA National Championship match. JTG and Chris Adonis. Wait, whoops.
That didn't happen yet.
I skipped ahead. Sorry. Skipped ahead. All right. So I think when I printed out my notes, I printed them out the wrong.
That's okay.
Wrong.
Crimson, right? And
Okay. Yep. The meeting. Kylo Davis interviewed the War Kings. Jack Steen wanted to talk to Crimson. And then he ended up bringing us Slice Boogie, and he ended up just taking off. He said he didn't want anything. I really want to know what they're going to do with this, because it seems like Crimson and Jack Steen have been around for a long time as a team, the War Kings. Slice Boogie, I think, he's good. He's convincing. The faces he makes are hilarious when he's doing this stuff. He could slightly alter his gimmick. I think that he could be, he reminds me of Dynamite Kid. Like some of the maneuvers. I'm not sure if you see that at all, like the way he wrestles.
I never really thought that, to be honest with you, but I have to look for that now.
Yeah, you got to look at the way he wrestles, like some of the high spots that he does and stuff like that. Maybe not as good as mine, but
I'm sorry, but I don't know if you thought this, but I thought Crimson's acting was pretty terrible in this segment.
The whole segment was terrible. No,
but just like his acting is, yeah. But I agree. Okay, so it's not just me. I just want to.
I wasn't I really wanted it to end, and the way he just kept no, I don't want anything. It's just like he didn't allow Slice Boogie to talk or any of that stuff. It's just like the whole segment. I mean, I get what they're trying to do, but it didn't work out like the way that I think that they had planned it, or maybe the way that they thought they filmed it. But it could have been way better, and I just don't know why they're doing. If they're actually preparing for a breakup of the War Kings, maybe they're going to have them feud. But I don't know. It seems like it's something's going to happen. All right, let's see here. Kratos and Aaron Stevens, May Valentine, basically interviewed Kratos. Do you like Kratos, J.R. Kratos, or just Kratos?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen enough of him to really form an opinion, to be honest with you.
I mean, I was a little bit familiar with him from LA out there, the New Japan LA, New Japan Strong. So and I was kind of surprised that they teamed Aaron Stevens up with him and gave him the tag titles like so quick. It was pretty bizarre. I don't really care about this segment as much. Like it really wasn't. It really did nothing for me. Let's be serious. I thought it was funny. One of the things I thought was funny was like Aaron Stevens he's really good at comedy, and it looked like he was just sitting on the floor behind the desk rather than actually in the. He was like
everybody else is like you see their their whole like upper body, you see like his head like.
You just see is this, and I was like, what the hell is he doing? So, Hawks Airy, the Luke and PJ Hawks, and El Rudo took on Le Rebellion and Homicide. I thought that this was awesome. I really did. I popped when Homicide returned. I don't read spoilers, so I didn't know that. I didn't read any spoilers that Homicide was returning. I don't know if you did at all, but
no, I had no idea. So I actually popped for that. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, I thought it was awesome, man. He delivered. This match was a really good match. I think that the Hawks, PJ and Luke Hawks, I like Luke a lot. Been watching him for many years, but his kid, it took me a little while to get used to. When he was coming in, I kind of thought he was annoying at first. He's just some young kid. I was like, whatever. But then he had that kid could really work a really good technical style. Of course, we're doing a little bit of the high spots, and Not too familiar with El Rudo outside of like say the couple matches I've seen. So he's somebody I'm going to have to really get used to. Love Rebellion is kind of funny. They're a pretty good team. I don't know. It's a black metal version of luchadors with the upside down crosses and stuff. So
Now,
what
is
did
it
you
one
think of?
of the son of Damien 666, right? One of them.
Yeah,
Did they-
that's Bestia 666. I kind of put that together before they even said anything. I was wondering about that.
We
But,
never
yeah.
know with all those parkas. You don't know, right?
I
You never
mean,
know. Actually
all
related.
those
They're
luchadors, yeah, all those luchadors go by Junior, and they're not related whatsoever. And you know, so yeah, this is pretty good, and I believe it was. Let's see, I have it written down here. Homicide and Love Rebellion. They look to they won. They seem to be apparently this must be Homicide must be returning to the NWA. I know he's also working. He formed a faction in Ring of Honor with Tony Deppen and the other guy's name, the guy with all the tattoos, Brody King. So
Okay.
I wonder if he's doing, going to be working NWA still again. So I really thought it was awesome that he's returned. I'm a huge Homicide fan. I like him a lot. So yep, it's good. We return, and Trevor Murdoch is behind the desk, and now they're going to be talking about the what was going to be is the national championship match, JTG and Chris Adonis. What did you think of this before I speak my mind?
It wasn't bad. I mean, both of these guys have gotten much better over the years, compared to their WWE days.
I don't think he ever really paid attention to Crime Time when they were in WWE. Actually, I don't even think I
Their
really paid much
promos really like they're in. I mean, he did a few high spots, JTG,
attention.
but I never really saw him do as much wrestling as I saw him do in this match. To be honest with you.
Yeah, yeah. And Chris Adonis, I think he's gotten way better. I'm surprised now that he wouldn't do a run in a place like WWE. I mean, he's got the years of experience now rather than I think when he came into WWE, he just came up from OVW, correct?
Yeah, he's one of those guys that he's got a good physique.
Yeah.
Let's just
And
bring
then they
him up.
sent him. Yeah, then they sent him back down there a week after his debut and sent him back down there for a few weeks to get some more seasoning. And then, you know, he's definitely gotten a lot better. He actually looks a lot smaller than he did then too. So maybe that has a lot of the effect too. But I don't understand. They're going to, excuse me, give the title to Chris Adonis. Why they take it off him in the beginning? The storyline, it just doesn't make much sense. So Fred Rosser threw in the towel for JTG because he looks like he was about to pass out from the pain. It's just not, to me, it just doesn't really.
I didn't see this coming. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
I mean,
I expected because of the previous storyline and Adonis giving up the belt for the situation to go into the battle royal, etc. That they would, why would he just win it back? Like it doesn't make much sense. So I don't know.
you have to ask Billy Corgan.
Yeah, I don't think I'll get that. So they end up having that happen, and Fred Rosser basically, explains why he did it. He didn't want to see him get hurt, and Murdoch was, oh, you got to let him be a man, give up like a man, or let him pass out like a man, etc., etc., etc. I guess is that going to be doing them. I know Fred Rosser signed to New Japan. He's going to be working New Japan, so he's going to be out of the NWA very soon. I don't know if they filmed any matches, like a feud with JTG since the tapings. Maybe he just did a one-off just to go with this to wrap it up or whatever. But it's a match I'd like to see because it's like obviously they planted the seeds with that. Yeah, that's pretty much the the thing. Not really much else with this episode. I'd have to give it a B. A B. It's actually better than most episodes I've seen in the last couple weeks. it's hit or miss as of late. Since the NWA's come back, they've had a pretty small roster, but it seems like they're getting better. So I'm hoping that the next set of tapings they'll bring in more people. It seems like they just need more variety. What's that?
I said little by little, I think they're going to acquire more contracts.
Yeah, and it just seems like they end up having it's just a very bizarre thing. Like it really is because they end up having it's like the same people involved in storylines week after week, or it's like they can only shuffle the deck so many times before the people. It's like the same people keep wrestling each other. Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
that was
good, but yeah, I actually like. I don't know about you, but I thought last week's was a little bit better, slightly better.
That was pretty good. Yeah. I think with each week, it's like I said, it's like hit or miss. I thought this was a good episode. I thought, like you said, last week's was probably better, but there's always moments that I could pick out that I really like a lot per episode, and and then there's a lot of episodes I can sit there and like, oh, they shouldn't have done that. I mean, I know Billy Corgan, he has the name and he wants to, use the history of the NWA, but at some point there's just certain things that he does with the NWA. I don't necessarily agree with being a huge NWA fan from my youth. But that's just me though. I could be picky. He tries to kind of mix a little bit of the old school and the new school together a little bit. So, I mean, it works for some people it doesn't. So anyways, John, what else, my friend?
Nothing else really. I mean, like you were talking before, this is one of the few wrestling shows. This and AEW Dynamite are the ones I actually consistently watch every week. That's about it for what's on television right now. Or the streaming.
I haven't watched much AEW. I watched a tiny bit of it tonight before we got to do this. I'll try to watch it tomorrow. There's a bunch of different stuff that I'm trying out here as far as wrestling goes. I subscribe to IWTV, which is, totally independent wrestling. I believe they merged with Smart Mark Video at this point, and there's some really good stuff on there. They have this New South is on there, ECWA whenever they decide to run shows, and then there's stuff streaming basically every day, and it's really cool. It's really cool. But there's outside of this, any live shows that you plan on attending?
Not sure. If I go to PAPW with you next week, I have to see about that.
Yeah, I'll be going to that. This weekend I'm going to the Test of Strength show in Naugatuck, Connecticut.
Okay.
I'll be going to that. That looks like a little bit of fun. It's going to be a Sunday afternoon. If you guys are there, hit me up, say hello. That's the good stuff. All right, so if you guys are listening, check out the new episode of Shocking Things when it does come out. When they're going to drop it? Have you guys gotten an idea?
Not 100% sure. Sometime next week.
That's awesome. I'm looking forward to it. Where can people find that your socials for Shocking Things?
You go to Instagram mostly. It's shocking.things.podcast, and that's where you can find us and all the information.
Into the fire. Into the fire. Into the fire. Into the fire. I'm falling again. Into the fire. Into the fire. I'm falling again. Into the fire. I'm falling. Into the fire. Into the fire.
Hey everyone, this is the illustrious Mr. Trivia for the Top Rope Report, letting you all know that tonight, 6:30 p.m., join Mr. Trivia and the Nokester Greg as we do our Monday Night Raw and NXT recap. Join us live on Facebook, 6:30 p.m., along with TalkShoe.com, Anchor, Google Podcast, and Spotify. The Top Rope Report live, 6:30 p.m., Facebook Live. Don't you dare miss it.
All right, everybody, please welcome to PWZ Mike Falvo. Mike, how are you?
I'm fantastic, man. How are you?
I'm great. Mike is a ambassador for the International Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame in Albany, New York, as well as ring announcer, cage announcer, and so much more to the combat sports industry. So let's get a little bit about your background. How did you get interested in, say, the wrestling game, or getting involved in professional wrestling?
Well, I've been a fan all my life since I was 8 years old. I remember going to my first match and telling my dad, "This is what I want to do," in some way, shape, or form. I wasn't blessed with the physical attributes of a wrestler. Let's just say that. But, over time, I realized, that maybe my gifts weren't in the ring. Maybe it was on the mic or backstage. So I took the time and I learned everything that happens backstage. I learned pretty much every job that you could learn aside from being a wrestler. And I did a little bit of everything, but really ring announcing, commentating, and that sort of thing was really my calling. That's where I felt I really excelled. And I was doing it for high school basketball, for college basketball, and so on. So I figured, why not? And that's where we are now.
That's awesome. About what age were you when you got involved actually in the wrestling world?
I was about 24.
Okay.
Yes, 24. Sorry, I was doing math in my head.
That's okay.
I was stationed in the Air Force in England at the time, and I found a wrestling school in Enfield, North London. And I went and I did the training. It was, once a week I could get down there. So I went, did the training, and wrestled small handful of matches. And then I got orders out. So after I got my orders, I stopped actively wrestling in England. And that's when I really started concentrating backstage, concentrating on booking, on producing matches, producing shows, so to speak, doing show rundowns and whatnot.
That's awesome. So you ended up, are you originally from New York? I know you're there now, correct?
Born and raised.
So that's awesome. So pretty much WWF territory, Did you discover anything else outside of the World Wrestling Federation as far as independence and stuff like that?
I've discovered so much outside of the realm of, WWE, WWF. When I was younger, I watched some WCW. We still got Saturday night,
Right.
6:05. Still got all that. Every now and again, I would watch it. And, then it really didn't, because I was young and I was all about Hogan and Macho Man and the WWF. And I was like, those are the other guys. I don't care about this. I don't want to hear about this Ric Flair dude. I don't know who that is, but then again, right. But before folks start coming at me with torches and pitchforks, I was 8 years old. Okay.
Right.
Just want to throw that out there. But as time went on, I started watching the other companies, WCW, when I was old enough, ECW, but I started going to a lot of smaller shows around Poughkeepsie area, not too far from where I am now. Every now and again, a show would come through Utica and I would go check it out. And there was just this intimate grittiness of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
You see these guys doing these great things, but not in this huge arena. It was always in like a small gym, a church gym, or a YMCA or whatever. And to me, that was the appeal of it. That's what I loved about it.
I loved it. I mean, I just remember my first independent show was 1995 at the North Haven Fair in North Haven, Connecticut. Not sure how familiar you are with it. And I just got so intrigued. That was like the actual first live independent show. I'd watched some on television, but but this like really drew me, and it opened up a whole nother world. So,
Right.
So I fell in love with that aspect of pro wrestling. So this August is the International Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. I know, talking off here, you said it was supposed to happen last year. This year is going to be the first year. So tell me a little bit about how you got involved. You're an ambassador for Hall of Fame. Tell me about this.
I had followed the Hall of Fame for a little while before I decided to become an ambassador. I had reached out to the Hall of Fame and said, I would really like to work with the International Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame in any way that I can, and told them what I could contribute, and they welcomed me with open arms, thank God. And it's been a great experience working with everybody involved, because you work on something that encompasses the entire professional wrestling world. And the beautiful thing about this Hall of Fame, as opposed to other halls, the other Hall of Fame, is that we encompass pro wrestling from all over the world. I mean, in our inaugural class this year, we're bringing in greats from Japan, greats from Europe, from Southeast Asia. We're bringing in legends are being inducted into the hall, and it's a fantastic thing, because this industry isn't confined to the United States. It's not just confined to people who may have made an impact on Monday nights or Saturday mornings or whatever. You hear about these great events that happen in Tokyo, Japan, London, England, and so on. And we want to include that because that's a part of the history of this business. And that's what we want to try to encompass, is the history of professional wrestling from all over the world, all walks of life, every race, religion, creed, you name it, we include it. But this next month, the end of next month, we're going to be inducting our inaugural class, 24 legends, names including Andre the Giant, Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, George Hackenschmidt, the Terrible Turk. I mean, folks like that who have made an immeasurable impact on this industry from decades ago up into this year. We're highlighting the best of the very best.
I am looking at the list now, and it's a who's who of professional wrestling. People I've read about for years, people I've grown up watching, and people that you only read about in professional wrestling history books, or on you can find out about in online. But of course, it's got the legends like Bruno Sammartino, Ric Flair, Terry Funk.
Yes.
So I believe this is going to be an awesome event. I'm really looking forward to it. It's August 27th to 29th in Albany, New York. So we'll let everybody know. So basically, it's going to be a convention. There's going to be autographs, photo ops, merchandise, and lots more. It's like that's something that's looking forward. And there's supposed to be a live event as well.
Yep.
Do you know anything more about this one?
Sure. Friday, August 27th. It's going to be at the Dome in Watervliet, New York, which is right outside of Albany. We're going to have a 30-man battle royal. It's going to be the Tony Villano Cup. Tony Villano was a mainstay with the New York Athletic Commission, and he was the guy that was assigned to pretty much all the major wrestling events, pro wrestling events that happened in this part of New York. So if Vince and the boys came to Albany, Tony was there. If they went to Madison Square Garden, Tony was there. He was a major influence on pro wrestling here in New York, so we named the Battle Royal in his honor. But we're also going to have a slew of matches that night. Those matches are going to be announced very soon. But some of the folks that we got coming, we've got Hall of Famer Mark Henry's going to be there. The guys formerly known as the Ascension are going to be there. We're going to have legends are going to be there. Hands of Stone, Ronnie Garvin, confirmed. He's going to be there. It's going to be a great event. You're going to have stars of today and yesterday in the same spot. It's going to be a fantastic night. And then after that event, back at the Desmond Hotel, the one and only Bill Apter is going to be hosting his Apter Hours party. I love how he named that.
With that, yeah.
It's going to be Bill Apter's one-man show, 11 p.m. in it's a room called the Town Hall of the Desmond Hotel, where everything is going to be taking place. You can get your tickets for that event, for the After Hours party, and really any event that's happening that weekend at prowrestlinghall.org.
And there's also package deals for groups and larger groups as well, larger groups of people as well. Check out the website you just mentioned for that, because it looks like it's really going to be a great event. I really think it is. So basically, there's going to be there's also panels, Legends of the Squared Circle panels. So Now, you mentioned earlier that there's supposed to be at some point a brick and mortar.
Yes,
building.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
That's okay.
We are working on a brick and mortar location. We were this close to having one last year, and then the pandemic happened and threw literally everything out of whack. So unfortunately that got put to the side, but we are looking for a brick and mortar location now. We're hoping to get one within the capital region, the Catskills area, which is where the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame is based out of, is Catskill. So that's where we're looking. We haven't really nailed a location down yet, but we're working on it. We're hoping very soon.
That's awesome. So how did the Hall of Fame end up getting Bruno's belt? Saw that on the website.
See, that's a question for the president, Seth Turner. That's a question. He's the one who finagled that. But that is definitely one that is, I would, in my opinion, that is probably the prized possession of the International Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame to this point. If you haven't seen it, for anybody listening, if you haven't seen it, there are photos of it on our website. It's one of the most sought after pieces of memorabilia in pro wrestling history. And we have it, and it's going to be on display at the IPWHF. So I'm hoping we will have it at Hall of Fame weekend. I think we will. I'm hoping, because I want to get my hands on it. But that's just me.
I'd love to get a photo with it.
Oh yeah.
Because that is a beautiful piece, and I could not believe that. So if anybody's interested in the Hall of Fame, there's package deals, like I said, but you can also go on. People can donate to keep the thing running and help, because it's supposed to be a nonprofit organization. It's supposed to basically live the memory, the history, keep the memory, the history of this entire industry out there.
Right.
We'll know about it. So I think it's an amazing concept what you guys are doing. I really do.
Exactly.
I visit the website frequently. It's pretty interesting. I like it.
Yeah, for those of you that are curious, we are a registered 501c3 organization. So you know how every now and again, if you have a birthday coming up on Facebook, you can do a fundraiser. You can fundraise for the IPWHF. We always accept donations. You can find information for that on our website. But also we are registered with the New York State Board of Regents as an educational institution. So the state recognizes the IPWHF as an educational institution as well as a fundraiser, because we educate folks on the history of pro wrestling. That's kind of what we do. So, if you have the chance to donate, I highly suggest you do that. You're contributing to a great organization to preserve the history of this, as I like to call it, ridiculously wonderful industry.
It's a very long industry. It goes on forever and ever. And one of the things is, me being a fan for almost 40 years, is that I feel like I constantly am learning something, not just the current stuff, but the history. I'm always researching stuff. Something will come across my mind, or I'll run into something online. Next thing you know, I end up in this they call it a rabbit hole, just searching the history, and takes up a good portion of my life. I love it.
Oh, so do I. And, a part of what I do, I do a lot of the social media. So if you see the posts on Facebook from the Hall of Fame, those are from me.
That's you.
Okay. That's me. But, like you said, you get down these rabbit holes. Like, I'll start researching, on this day, we'll say Randy Savage won the heavyweight championship. Okay, well, who did he beat? Well, where did it happen? Oh, wait, on this date, this happened? No way. You're telling me this happened on this date in this location? And it's wonderful getting down these rabbit holes. Like, I never knew. I live in Troy, New York, and I announce basketball games for RPI, Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute. I had no idea that I live literally right around the corner from where Clash of Champions 9 took place, the RPI Field House in Troy.
I remember that. That was,
the New York knockout.
Yeah. Yep. That was a good. I remember that one. I'm trying to remember the matchups, but I remember the setup of the arena for that one. That one was a pretty fun one. I was a huge WCW fan at that time, or NWA WCW. Once I discovered that, it was completely different. It was a different presentation than WWF was at the time. To me, it looked more like realistic and less showy. as
Mhm.
opposed to like WWF or cartoony. So-
Right.
But over time, I just watch anything, you know. So this is a great event. Sorry, just threw that right up there. This is a
Sure.
great event coming up. I want everybody to go online. What was that website again?
ProWrestlingHall.org.
Check it out and donate if you can. And maybe I'll see you there. I hope to see you all there. Mike, do you have any events coming up that you want to promote?
Sure. This coming Saturday, if you're down in New Jersey, go check out NFW, Northern Federation Wrestling. They have No More Tears. That's happening this Saturday down in New Jersey. Coming up July 31st, I will be at Immortal Championship Wrestling. That's going to be in Rome, New York. This is their first post-pandemic show. So this one is going to be, it's going to be huge. So we're trying to make it the best we can. Already confirmed. This one just announced a little while ago. MLW Caribbean champion Richard Holiday is going to be there. ECW original Just Incredible is going to be there. Mike Skyros is going to be there. I'm going to be there. I mean, it's going to be a great event. But also, I have mixed martial arts events coming up. I don't have confirmed dates yet, but I will get those out as soon as I can. But really, that's it. And then we have the International Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame induction weekend, August 27th through the 29th here in Albany, New York. ProWrestlingHall.org to donate, reserve your tickets. I say get them now because once we start releasing the names of the folks that are going to show up, they're going to go. I guarantee it.
Oh, that sounds great. Where can we find you on the socials?
At Mike A. Falvo. Pretty simple.
All right. Thank you very much.
You bet.